104-103, but they led by as many as 23 before Orlando came back to take the lead late in the fourth quarter. With 11 seconds left, Isaiah Thomas hit 2 free throws to give Cleveland the lead, and then Alfred Payton missed the potential game winner. LeBron had 16 points and turned it over 6 times, and Kevin Love had just 12 points, which led Ty Lue to say after the game, the team needs to get him more involved in the offense. Let's take a listen to a frustrated group of Cavs.
We want to play better, and we know we have the ability to do it, but right now we're in Strugglesville, but it felt like a win. We needed it, definitely.
Whether it's on the floor as of late or what I've seen in huddles, the communication between you and LeBron, especially that synergy, what's the key for you guys?
We want to be great. He's closer to great than I am, but we just know how to play the game. Like, we've been playing it so long, 2 great players that respect each other, just know how to play, and we have fun with it. We know if something works, we got to stick to it, but we also got to get better at a lot of other areas as well.
Are you upset with the guys?
I can't remember.
After the game, LeBron used a lot of emojis to express his frustration. He tweeted, "Man, I was garbage tonight. Thank God for teammates. Appreciate it, fellas. Hashtag strive for greatness."
What's that second emoji?
You know what it is. So.
Is that the bull job one?
Yeah.
He was.
It's chocolate ice cream. Shannon, what's going on with your Cavs?
Skip, I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you. I felt worse after this game than I did after Monday's loss.
I hear you.
Because what I'm seeing is that no matter how big a lead they get, even against inferior teams, they can't hold it. So now that sends the message to the other teams that, hey, they might get out to a big lead, but they will relax. They'll stop playing defense. They'll start taking bad shots, and they'll allow us to get back in the ball game. You cannot get a 23-point lead and have them without Vucevic and Ross and all these other guys. And to come back with that roster, that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable.
By the way, they have lost 17 of their last 19 have the Orlando Magic.
Yes.
Just for the record.
The Cavs had a 23-point lead, and with 31 seconds left in the ball game, Orlando had to come all the way back to take the lead.
I did.
This is not a good sign. And, Skip, they have pieces that really does not work together. I'm sorry. Isaiah Thomas is phenomenal, but he takes some bad shots. He's a liability on defense, and what his return has done, it has really hurt Kevin Love.
It has.
With Isaiah on the court, Kevin Love is shooting 32%. When he's off the court, Love is shooting 47%. He gets his touches. Early in the ball game, LeBron would always make sure Kevin Love was going to get the first 3 or 4 shots because LeBron realizes how important Kevin Love is. But that's not the case now. So Kevin Love is trying to find his role into the offense. He thought he understood when Kyrie was there, LeBron, Kyrie, sometimes Kyrie, LeBron, but he was always going to be the third option. But him being the third option in this rotation doesn't serve the Cavs very well, Skip. They can't win. And what happens is that when they get leads, now all of a sudden everybody thinks now it's time to be the and one. Everybody starts going one-on-one. 19 assists the first half, 3. They had 2 assists the last 22 minutes of the ball game. They assisted on their first basket in the third quarter. And from that point on, they had 2 more assists. You can't win like that.
That is just horrible.
What got you the lead? Ball movement and playing defense. Not only did they stop moving the ball, they stopped playing defense. At least if you're going to stop playing defense, move the ball and get the ball in the basket. This is a bad, bad sign. We're going to talk about this a little later about LeBron and how he felt about Kyrie being traded. But, Skip, I feel worse today than I felt Tuesday because this feels like a loss. They won by 1. But winning by 1 against this undermanned roster after having a 23-point lead is unacceptable, and hopefully this isn't an omen of bad things to come.
I am so with you. I feel your pain today because it's real pain. Something is very wrong here.
Very.
And to amplify the direction you were heading, again, I'm not an Isaiah Thomas guy. I admire him and I admire what he did and I know what he went through, the tragedy. I get all that. But as far as how he fits with LeBron James, I'm not a fan.
No.
And I wasn't from the start, so I'm not doing 2020 hypocritical hindsight here. So now Isaiah Thomas and LeBron James have shared the floor in Cleveland 110 minutes. And in that time, Isaiah has taken 66 shots and LeBron has taken 42 shots. It's like bad old days, Durant and Westbrook.
Correct.
Westbrook was taking way more shots than what I thought was at least the best player on that team, if not an emerging, obviously, MVP.
Yeah, but if they're good shots, I don't believe you would have a problem with them
No.
shooting that many.
No.
But they're like Russell, they are horrible shots. A lot of them.
Some of them are horrible. So, to your point, I've watched 3 straight Cavs games, and I have seen flashes of the team that won 18 of 19 games.
Correct.
All in the first half. So at Indiana, they led by 22 in the first half. That'll work because Indiana had beaten them twice already. Indiana's not bad. It's kind of hard to go to Indiana and get up by 22.
Yep.
And they lost the second half 53-37. Golden State's really good. And at Cleveland last Monday night, the Cavs led by 7 at halftime. That'll work.
Yep.
You know, I sat back and said, wow, and LeBron didn't play well in the first half. He played great in the first half.
Correct.
And they lost the second half 61-44. And then last night, they're up by 23 on what's left of the Magic. And the ball movement wasn't just good. It was sensational.
Yes.
LeBron's whipping it through his legs, behind his
Behind his
to
back,
Dwayne.
between the legs.
It was spectacular.
D. Wade had to smile. D. Wade
He
like,
did.
did you see what he just? Let me go and
Yeah.
leave this thing. I can't mess this up.
Hey,
Did you
and
see what
they
he
had a
just-
couple of hot potato possessions where it went bing, 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 bing around the
Yes.
circle a couple of times, and then somebody got JR got a wide open 3 and just ripped it, you know, like he knew it was in when it left his hand.
Yep.
And I'm saying, okay, here they come. Again, it's almost like you're playing some scrimmage opponent, you know, it was a joke game in the first half. And to your point, all of a sudden I look up and Orlando's ahead by 1 point down the stretch. Okay, so I got to give a quick nod to Isaiah because, to his credit, he did make the 2 free throws that did end up winning the game. Although I thought there used to be this rule, I don't know what happened to it, where you can't step across the free throw line before the ball hits the rim.
Right.
And he does it every time. He
Right.
just steps up, he shoots it and steps across the line, almost like he's got to put a little more oomph into it to get it there. I don't know. But he did make them, although that play, you want to talk about a break? It's a jump ball. It's just, here we go, here we
That's a
go.
jump
And
ball.
Sheldon Mack reaches in and just ties him up. Well, what? That's not a foul. He is all ball. It's all ball.
And
Sheldon Mack's looking around like,
And that's what's so amazing, Skip, is that we've seen LeBron James do that very thing, and they call jump ball. They give.
that's true. I will give you that. So here's what's happened to LeBron in the second halves of these 11 games, in which they did win the one last night, though it felt like a loss. So,
Yes.
so they've won 3 out of the last 11 games. In those games, in the second halves, LeBron James is now minus 81 in plus minus. That is the worst in the whole National Basketball Association out of 416 players. That's shocking to me.
Yes.
And it has something to do with the presence of Isaiah Thomas.
totally agree.
It just does. Now, LeBron lost it in the second half, and what he ended up.
What you mean the second half? He didn't have it in the first half.
Yeah.
He missed his first 5 free throws.
Yeah.
He was 0 for 4 from 3.
And in these last 3 games, he's 1 for 9 from 3 and 6 for 12 from the free throw line. And by the way, he was 2 for 8 from the free throw. So the demons got back in his head.
That's what I could tell early on.
Yeah.
And I've watched just about every game he's played in his 15-year career. When he missed those first couple of free throws,
He starts overthinking it, and then
it affects his outside shot.
It did. So he's obviously not without blame, but I'm just saying the chemistry is so wrong here that Isaiah is so ball dominant that, and now it looks back on Kyrie, and we're going to, as you say, we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but I don't know what it was about Kyrie and LeBron, but they had enough respect for each other that they could do your turn, my turn, and there was a blend and a flow to
Right.
it where Kyrie would sacrifice and then LeBron would sacrifice. Isaiah, you saw the clip that we aired.
Yeah.
I was watching live with Allie Clifton last night on Fox Ohio, and I just fell back in my chair like the audacity of that little man to put it. He just put himself in LeBron's conversation. We're two great players. No, you're not.
Oh.
You're one great player.
He's closer to greatness than I am. What you mean closer?
what are you
He's
talking
there.
about? He's
He's
there.
already home.
Isn't LeBron always doing the hashtag strive for greatness? You know what I mean? Maybe
I
he's
guess
just,
so.
He's just
So-
repeating the mantra.
But Isaiah, the audacity. He was just putting himself in the same conversation like we're two
Oh,
great players.
yeah. We gotta.
What?
We can work this out.
So help me out here. LeBron has made 14 straight All-Star teams, and Isaiah's made 2. I'll give him that, but 14-2. And LeBron has played in 217 playoff games, and Isaiah's played in 25. So they're on mutual footing here, like they're what? That's what he's made of. He came in. He was so idolized in Boston because they were so desperate for a new star that he. It's such a great basketball hotbed town.
Yes.
And he got so caught up into it that he thought he was some combination of Bill Russell and Larry Bird.
Yeah.
And he came to Cleveland with that mentality. I'm joining another great player. It's the two of us. What?
Because think about it, Skip. He's never played with a player. He was the best player on the Celtics. He played in Phoenix, and Phoenix didn't have no superstars like Bron. In Sacramento? He played. He was there with Boogie, but Boogie's not on Bron's level. Now he's there. He's like,
No.
Hey, your boy, you be a Bron. We like that.
What?
He get a shot, I get a shot.
What?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
This
Skip,
is
what?
the problem. And now it was significant that Ty Lue volunteered last night. We have to get Kevin more touches. And I was like, Kevin, where did that come from? And then I start looking at the numbers, and the numbers say that Kevin Love, he had 4 shots in the second half. So he's had 6 games with Isaiah Thomas, and he's gotten 15-plus shots, which is his range of shots, one time. 37 games this year without Isaiah, he's had 15 or more shots 17 times. So it's clear, especially in second halves, Isaiah just says, get out of my way, I'm going to do this.
Right.
And it's at the most expense, not of LeBron, but of
Kevin Love.
I
don't even know if I've ever seen, and I'm going to have to pay a little closer attention to it. I don't even know if I've seen Isaiah pass the ball to Kevin Love down into the post. We know LeBron can feed him the post, but when you're 5'9", Skip, you can't feed nobody. You 5'9", how are you going to feed the post?
I don't know. And plus, he says about himself, I'm not a pass first point. I'm a shoot first point guard. He admits it. I'm a scoring point guard. Well, that won't work.
No, but with those he's a shoot first point guard, but he's a volume shooter.
He's just to me, he's a 2 guard.
Yeah, but the bad shots, that's what gets you beat, Skip, is that when you come down as a 1-on-3 and you pull up from the 3-point line.
He will jack it. And he did it a couple times last night.
Or they're trying to sit up and you just go to the basket. Dude, it's hard for you to get the shot off, dude. You're 5'9". But he doesn't see that, Skip. He sees himself as a 6'8" guy, and bless his heart. But he's not on the same level as LeBron, and it's messing up the chemistry. For me, I would package him in that first-round pick.
Maybe.
I don't know, but who's going to take him, Skip, when he's at the end of his contract and he's going to want a max deal?
He does.
I'm sorry. I don't know what. Listen, this is what I would do. I'm packaging that first-round pick. I'm going to show LeBron, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to win this year, and I'm showing you we're trying to win moving forward.
Yep.
But Isaiah is not in the plans if I'm Cleveland. I'm not going to win with him, Skip.
Well, if I'm LeBron James, I'm going to put my foot down. We're going to talk about whether he should have put his foot down about trading Kyrie. But in this case, it's a bad idea. It was, and again, I'm not being hypocritical about it. I just said, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
They caved. I said, Skip, I said it all along. Like you said, we're going to talk about it. I'm holding on to Kyrie at least to the trade deadline. Kyrie's value is not going to diminish. They made it seem like, man, if we don't get rid of Kyrie right now, this is as great as his value is going to be. That's Kyrie Irving. He's 25. He's a 4-time All-Star. He's a big shot taker, a big shot maker.
Yeah, and Isaiah's not a young man anymore.
No,
yeah.
He's older.
29
he's older than Kyrie.
Yeah.
Well, don't ask Isaiah that.
Well, yeah. Let him tell him he Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He is.
Next up, the Vikings are a 3-point favorite on the road against the Eagles in Sunday's NFC Championship game. It's the second week in a row Philly is a home underdog. Nick Foles was solid, but not spectacular against the Falcons last week. But now he faces the top-ranked defense in the NFL. So Shannon, who wins on Sunday?
I think the home field will be the determining factor. The first half is very important. I believe neither